the present time, an understanding of the present time, a global sensibility, instant global sensibility, and permanent, expressed by, I think, his most beautiful thought, which is, in the electronic age, we wear all mankind as our skin. That's really impressive. We have, I think we continue to have an argument about identity, the question of identity. I am kind of a, hardcore, pure et dur. I want it. I think it's important. I think it's something we've gained, we shouldn't lose. But he said there's no way, there's no chance. Electricity just will wipe it out. I don't agree. I mean, I politically don't agree with him about that. I've got a problem with that. But, I mean, it's not a whole lot to criticize from McLuhan. I mean, when he exaggerates, yeah, he exaggerates. And then you have to make allowances for that. He's a showman as well. But there's no question. The depth and the width of his thought remain phenomenal. Well, I think he's coming back. I think there are signs, at least he's not really dead. I have this friend who used to call me from Romania to tell me, alors, McLuhan, toujours mort? McLuhan, still dead? Well, no, he is actually quite there's a comeback about McLuhan now. I was fascinated to hear that I think at the University in Berlin, they are offering seminars on McLuhan which are jam-packed, like people register for it. I think McLuhan is, for one, still ahead of our time. Forget about his time. He's still ahead of our time. And finally, he's bypassed the whole internet business, as if his penetration of what I believe is electricity, really, the ground, his penetration of electricity and its potential consequences are profoundly visionary. Well, I mean, obviously, I'd recommend the same thing as McLuhan did, which is study the effects. Having who knows what's going to happen with us with YouTube? What's the implication of Second Life? I mean, I'm not sure that the kids know more about, I'm sure they would talk about it better than I can, but I'm not sure that they know a whole lot more about it. They're in it. They can't see it. They're like fish in the water. They haven't got a clue. They swim in that Second Life business. So, yeah, what's the consequences of Second Life? Our media are different instruments of cognition, pretty well. And they all come framing our cognition in a specific fashion. That's an important thing to know. So, also the political role of the internet or blogging or, or tubing, for that matter. How are we going to deal with the political dimensions of this incredible frenzy, of things coming from everywhere? I forgot the numbers, and I was absolutely flabbergasted. The billions of YouTube that are circulating. I mean, can you believe it? This thing is just born. So how can you possibly know anything about it? That's the thing. We should study that. Yeah. It's going on emotions right now, so that's a kind of a last refuge. It's really going everywhere. It's very hard to, it's actually, when you think about it, because the first thing I eliminated all the hardware stuff, but biologically I thought, okay, we must have some zones biologically where the computer is not going to be involved. But that's not the case. Certainly, the cloning is a computer world. Cloning, When I say it's a generalization. I am not saying everybody obviously is going to have a computerized total environment. I'm not saying everybody, but the principle of a computerized total environment is already in place. It's already in place. You know what Bruce Sterling called it? SPIME. The SPIME, space-time marker. Like the whole environment is picking up, you know, where you are, what you're doing, what your moves are, what you're wearing. You know, the environment's talking to you as well. You know, that's where computers really go into it. I mean, they're putting them in the stomach of soldiers now. You know, how do you call it? These guys are, you know, they're swallowing a pill, which is a package of sensors, and it sends information to the chief commander about how you feel as you're going to the front. You know, I'm exaggerating, you know, but it's actually a stuff that you put inside and that you can connect to using a computer. So it really penetrates the one thing that Stellark, you know, Stellark, the Australian artist, Stellark explained this beautifully. He swallowed. Now that wasn't the computer, but the principles there. He swallowed a probe with a camera and light, and he gave us the picture of his inside on a jumbotron in Tokyo, in I think he did it in Paris. He did it in various places in Germany for sure. I can't remember, maybe Köln. I can't remember where he did it, but so people were seeing the inside of a man, well lit. It's not beautiful at all, on a huge jumbotron. I always think that Stellark is one of the most disgusting artists I know, but I think he's one of the greatest. Like, really cool. No, the penetration of electricity in, don't forget, they're sisters. And more than sisters, they're almost continuous. The electricity inside the body and the electricity outside the body. So a dialogue between those two is you know, it's a fusion. Yeah.